Hey guys, welcome to Tool Talk TV. My name is Adam and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Jonathan Collier from Monument Tools. Now, today we're talking about hole saws, and I know what you're thinking. Monument Tools, hole saws, where's the connection? Before we get into talking about these specific hole saws, Jonathan, I wanted you to share the story about, I actually came to a tool museum down at Monument and saw a hole saw. What's the story behind that?
So we've always made a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff that we make I didn't even know about. We'd made bimetal hole saws throughout the 1980s, and then we stopped making them probably in mid to late 90s. But looking through the tool museum, we found essentially one of these hole saws that had a tip on it, looked very similar to one of these, and they were designed to cut the hole in plywood that you would then fit a strut to on a sort of roundabout First World War biplane, so a Sopwith Camel or something like that. So yeah, we have been doing hole saws for many years.
So it's come back full circle, and you mentioned bimetal hole saws.
Yeah.
So I'm actually holding this. Do you want to talk me through what a bimetal hole saw is, and specifically about these teeth before we get onto the new system?
Yeah, so this is, as Adam says, bimetal hole saw. We used to make them, as I've said. They're actually designed for metal. They're for drilling holes in metal. But because of the way the world is, they've ended up being a generic type of hole saw. But they're actually not really designed for cutting holes in wood, MDF, kitchen cabinets. So there is a theory that says these are the wrong product for what people are using them for. And we're trying to bring to market something that is the right product and saves engineers time.
Really nice segue into it. Do you want to have a little look at this beast? And people will look at it saying that's not a hole saw, that's too big, that's the size of a dinner plate. But this is a prro-fit hole saw, same as that. That one's bimetal, as you pointed out, small teeth made for cutting metal.
Yep.
Actually burns its way through wood from what I've learned. It doesn't really cut, just burns through, and that's why you get all the smoke and the glue. This is a hole saw with very different sorts of teeth on it. Do you want to explain what's the difference with this system?
Yeah, so rather than having teeth, which are sometimes offset, and you get different numbers of teeth per inch, so you might get a 14 teeth per inch, you might get 7 teeth per inch, depending on how the band is cut before it's welded. What you've got on these hole saws is you've got a tungsten carbide tip, hence the TCT, and they're just little tips that are brazed onto different parts of the hole saw. They're really strong, and those individual bits will do the cutting as the saw goes through the wood.
So it's actually there to cut the wood compared to burn its way through.
Absolutely.
So that's one of the key differences about the actual cutter.
Yep.
In terms of the system, I keep hearing the word prro-fit system a lot. What makes the system different to what people are normally used to when they're using traditional bimetals?
So what you've got is it's a patented product. So we like bringing patented products to market. You know, whether that's something that whether it's our patent, whether it's an inventor's patent that we can then license, or whether it's something different. So our philosophy has always been bring something different to the market that not everybody else is doing. The patent itself revolves around the way that it's a quick eject system. So you would fit
Got a little toy for you to demo with.
So what you've got is there's a high-speed steel drill. You can then fit the hole saw. It clips in place, and the idea is once you've finished your hole, there's a quick eject system. So you literally pull the hole saw back, and it leaves the plug there, which you can then pull off and easily eject. You can then put it back in place, and off you go again.
Compared to using a traditional bimetal hole saw without the quick eject, using a screwdriver,
you've then got
it out.
You would then find there'll be these little eject slots here where you get a screwdriver inside those and try and pry the bits of wood out. And I know everybody's done it, because even I've done it, even with the hole saws that we used to make. You used to do that, and the plug used to sit in there. With this system, it's just a quick eject.
Like it. And in terms of one of the features that I saw when we were speaking about this product is the ability to enlarge holes.
Yep.
What does that look like? I've got a larger hole saw here for you.
So one of the great things about this is you would drill a hole and you would go, oh, it's either the wrong size or you want to make it bigger, and it's very difficult to center. Let's say you've drilled a hole at that size. You drilled a hole at that size. and you now go, oh, actually I need it bigger. And you want to make sure that the center of the hole is in the same place as the previous hole. So once you've drilled the hole, you've then got a different type of, it's not a drill bit, but it's a different type of bit that you can sit the larger hole saw behind. You can then fit the hole that you've just drilled, the hole saw that you've just drilled with at the front. You can, that's the hole that you've drilled. As this one then hits the piece of wood, it then starts to score it. You can then move this one back, take.
So that's really acting as like a perfect guide.
Perfect guide.
For the hole that you've already previously cut.
Bring that one forward, and you've now got the position scored already, so you know exactly where to start the next cut.
Nice. To the right hand side of you, we've got some kits.
Yes.
I'd love to know the story behind these kits, because from what I can see right now, we've got something that says the pipe and waste, chippies and electrical kit. What are these kits all about?
So when the research was first done in the UK, if you look at a standard hole saw kit, maybe a bimetal hole saw kit, they all tend to be the same size. And what happens with the way that the market goes is somebody invents something that's quite clever, and then somebody copies it, and then somebody copies it, and somebody copies it. So you end up with a very generic set of kits. What the research did at the start of this for the UK market, there was a group of engineers that were contacted, whether they were chippies, whether they were sparks, or whether they were plumbing and heating engineers, and they were asked, what sizes do you want in your kit? So we've ended up with kits that have been specifically designed for the correct sizes of hole saw. There's never a perfect answer, so there's always going to be someone who says, well, actually, I prefer a 70 to a 71 for soffit boards. And you're like, well, okay, you can have a 70 or a 71. So there's little tweaks, but the kits we reckon are the right for the UK market.
And you spoke about sizes there. You said when originally they came in, a set was made, copied, so we ended up with very similar sets that could be purchased. What sort of sizes can we get the prro-fit hole saws in?
I want to say there's an infinite range. There isn't obviously an infinite range, but a lot. The smallest one is 16mm, and then the largest one is 330. So 330, if you could take a 30 centimetre ruler, 330 is a significantly sized hole, and they all work in exactly the same kind of way with the quick release system. Okay,
so in terms of the kits, what are the actual key differences between those three kits? You said they're specific for like a plumbing and heating engineer, a chippy and a spark, but what does that actually mean? Can we have a quick look?
Yeah, sure. So what we've tried to design is as closer to a perfect kit as we can for each of the trays. So there's a pipe and waste kit. So we've got sizes so that you would fit when you're drilling through wood to put 15mm, 22, 28mm copper, or you're putting inch and a quarter, inch and a half waste pipe, fitting those through maybe back of the kitchen unit. We're trying to make sure that we've got pipe sizes, hole saw sizes that will fit.
The pipe sizes.
We've also got, there's an enlarging piece as well. So as we've shown previously, you can enlarge holes. And there's also some flat bits or spade bits in there as well, because we know that these are top quality products, but we know that sometimes a plumbing and heating engineer might want to use a spade bit for smaller sizes.
Makes sense. And in terms of the Carpenter's kit, how's that any different?
So the Chippy's kit, it's just got different sizes of hole saw.
Yep.
There's an enlarging piece, but there aren't any spade bits, but there's a bigger range of actual hole saw sizes.
I can see the Sparks kit, the real electrician's kit, is quite a sizable box. Anything different in that compared to the rest of them?
Well, I think one of the things that we found with Sparks is, yes, they do want to cut through wood to some extent, but also there is a desire for them to have additional sizes, because we're not quite sure what size hole they actually want to drill. So we've created a bigger kit, so in theory they could put other hole saws in the range. But we've then also got some very clever and seriously professional hole saws, which is for cutting through metal. So similar kind of top quality grade product, but really specific and really good.
Nice. I've got a quick question in terms of Monument and prro-fit. So obviously everyone knows you as the managing director of Monument Tools, 5th generation company. What's the relationship between Monument and prro-fit?
So what we want to do, as always, is bring different products to market that other people don't have. When we see that there's an opportunity and there's a patented product and there's a gap in the market, if possible, can we exploit it? So we want to bring that to market and launch that in the UK. It's not something that we do very often because the majority of the products that we do sit very specifically between plumbing, roofing and drainage. The hole saws do sit within plumbing. We're going slightly outside of that with roofing and with the Chippy's kit and the Sparks kit, but it's still very tight within the hole saws. So yeah, we want to be known for selling innovative products. Again, trying to save the engineer time.
Jonathan, thanks very much for your time today to share with us the prro-fit system. So guys, there you have it. That's the new way of cutting holes. You thought you knew hole saws, but you're probably using a hole saw made for cutting metal. If you want to learn more about prro-fit, go to pro-fit.co.uk, where you can see the prro-fit range and also my favorite video, 2 guys, 6 holes. See you next time.